On this World Wildlife Day, the San Diego Zoo is celebrating with a major announcement. The organization would now be called the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, a nonprofit focusing on conservation. And here to tell us more about that is the organization's CEO, Paul Barabalt, and its wildlife ambassador, Rick Schwartz. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here.
Well, good morning.
So, Paul, good morning to you. What led you to make this change, and what does it mean for the San Diego Zoo and the animals in its care?
Well, this is a huge change for this organization. This is really about us reaching to fulfill our potential. Here, the San Diego Zoo and San Diego Zoo Safari Park is filled with talented team members, from veterinarians to nutritionists to care specialists that are committed to changing outcomes for wildlife. This next chapter of our history is really formed in what happened to us all this last year. The COVID pandemic has affected all of us. It caused us to step back and ask, are we being as effective as we can be for wildlife conservation? Can we be more strategic? Can we work with partners in a more collaborative way? And so that really led us to look at our work and step back and say, we have 8 areas of the globe across 6 continents where we could work and drive greater outcomes for wildlife, working with partners at all levels, from national to local. So it's a huge change for us, and we're excited about it.
All right, Paul, thank you. It sounds great. And Rick, I want to ask you, zoos get a lot of criticisms. People see wild animals in enclosures, and it appears they're there just for entertainment and to make money, and that doesn't sit well with a lot of animal lovers. What do you say to that?
Well, I would say, as an animal lover myself and someone who has dedicated my life to connecting people with wildlife in the efforts to encourage conservation and care for them, I would invite any animal lover like myself to come to the zoo or safari park to experience for themselves this absolutely amazing and wonderful space. Our staff does such a great job with these animals. And speaking of animals, I've got some great animal ambassadors I'd love to introduce you to right now.
All right, go ahead, Rick. Introduce us. This is my favorite part of any of these segments.
All right. I know. This is really where the magic happens, too. When you come to the zoo or safari park, come here, Taj, you get a chance to meet these animals up close and personal, and that's when you can look them in the eye and experience them looking you in the eye as well. And when you fall in love with them, you definitely want to know, how can you help? What can I do to make a difference? Well, Taji here's an African crown crane, getting that beautiful name from, of course, the beautiful crest on her head.
Taji's putting on a show for us.
Over here. Well, she's showing off these beautiful animals. They need our help. Like Paul mentioned, we are dedicated to taking care of the ecosystems and areas where these species can be found. And when you come join us to be an ally for wildlife, you make a difference as well. And that's what this is all about. Taj is enjoying the morning sun right now here in San Diego, having a beautiful time of it. Now, she's the native species. The crown crane is native to Africa, and we have another African animal. I'm going to have you guys focus right here on the little dirt area we've set up. We've got a little friend that's going to be coming out, a bat-eared fox, native to Africa also. It's one of our hubs in Africa. Africa area, the savannah is one of our hubs. We're going to be focusing on animals like elephants and rhinos, lions and leopards, but the biodiversity is just as important as anything. If we only focus on 1 or 2 species, we're going to lose our opportunity to really take care of all the animals in that environment. There she goes. There she is. Now, the bat-eared fox, you can look there, obviously gets her name from those large ears. They're omnivorous. They're going to be eating a lot of bugs and insects and grubs, digging in the ground, looking for that food. But also right now, she's aware of a lot of people and activity on the other side of this plant, so she's picking up sounds there. This is normal. As they would hunt and look for their food, they'd be listening for predators that might be out there for them. Now, in just a moment, we'll give her another second to find a snack there. You might hear a loud whistle. That's going to be her call to head back home. We'll bring out a couple more animals for you. Oh, but there's still some snacks in there, she says. Hold on a second, whistle. That's the one fun thing about working with our animals. And again, having the opportunity for guests to see them up close and personal, it's an opportunity to learn that they are their own individuals, their own personalities. And we have coming up now another animal from Australia. Often with this animal, when you first glance at them, we have a lot of people asking us, is this related to the hedgehog or maybe the porcupine? Well, believe it or not, this is the only other egg-laying mammal on the planet alive today. This is called an echidna. Now, they're an insectivore directly related to the platypus, and we also have another conservation hub right there in Australia. And again, when you're looking at these things for conservation, these amazing animals, you can't just think about the individual. What about the biodiversity? What about the health of the environment? And of course, the people. The people make make a big difference. Those that visit the areas where the animals live, those that live natively where the animals live, and then people coming to the zoo or safari park, supporting our conservation efforts around the world. Now, the fun thing about these, like all quilled animals, they cannot shoot their quills. It's just a myth. What they can do, though, is they'll dig themselves down and just leave a patch of quills right up there so predators really don't want to mess with them too much. But speaking of Australia, we do have one more animal to share with you. A little more well-known, perhaps, to the Australian area. It's a large marsupial you might recognize. We'll bring her out in just a second. Now, I want to clear something up as we're bringing her out. Not all marsupials have pouches. That's a little inaccurate. We tend to think all marsupials have pouches to keep things in them. Well, if you're a marsupial, it means you were raised in the pouch. So in other words, only the females have pouches. They raise the young in the pouch. They don't keep their keys in there or anything else. They just have a good time. Come here, Ruby. Come say hi. Ruby's checking out the morning sun. There you are. Hi, sweetheart. Come around this way. There you go. So Ruby here is our little red kangaroo. The classic kangaroo, of course, those large hind legs. People always like to ask us if they box. Well, the males, when fighting for territory rights, will get up on their hind legs nice and tall. Boys can get up to 180 pounds, almost 6 feet in height, and they will grapple with each other. But what looks like boxing is actually they're kind of measuring the distance, because then they'll go all the way up on their tail and kick with those powerful back legs. Now, the kangaroo fills sort of the same niche as the deer here in North America. They live in large groups, but instead of being called a herd, they're called a mob. There's a couple males that might hang out and really be in charge of the whole mob, with the females and the youngsters and making out the most of the population. But basically what we're getting at here is animals are important, and we need to connect people to them. That's why we're here. And San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is dedicated not just to connecting our guests and our members to these animals, but we're looking at this at a global level. We have partners all over the world that we're working with, sharing information and sharing our passion for animals, and we're very excited to announce all of this on World Wildlife Day.
All right. Paul Barabalt and Wildlife Ambassador Rick Schwartz of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, thank you both. We appreciate it, and thank the animals. They put on quite a show for us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.